Hi everyone and welcome to this week's workout. Today we have a core workout for you. This workout consists of 4 different moves. There's 8 rounds in total, so we're going to do each move twice. We're going to do 45 seconds of work and 15 seconds recovery between each one to swap over, and we're going to alternate between those moves, so we'll do each move twice. And let's get started with a little bit of a warm-up, a nice gentle warm-up. So we'll come down onto our backs. Here I want you to draw the abs in. We want to keep that nice strong core brace so the back's not going to lift off the floor. And we'll start by lifting the legs, bringing the shins parallel to the ground so the knees are roughly over the hips. And then we're going to add in a toe tap, keeping that strong brace so the back doesn't lift. Like I said, we're also not pushing it into the floor. We'll gently lower one foot down to tap the floor. Then we'll do the same thing on the other side. And we want to keep this movement slow and controlled the whole time, keeping that tension through the core. And remember, we're lowering from the hip, not just relaxing the foot down to the floor. So we want to gently lower, keeping as close to that 90-degree bend in the knee as we feel we can. That's good. Got a few more. And we're going to relax the feet down to the floor. We're going to come into some crunches. So place your hands onto your thighs. We want to think about drawing the ribs down towards the hips, crunching up, creating that flexion through the back of the body. So we're putting that tension through the abdominals, and we're starting to get them fired and working up. And like I said, it's that bit of flexion through the spine as we crunch up, sliding the fingertips towards the knees and then gently back down. We also want to look after the neck while we do this. So we don't want to tuck the chin all the way into the chest because that might strain the back of the neck. We want to keep the neck in a neutral position, so we want to take our eyes a little bit up in front of us as we're crunching up. Almost done with these ones. Okay, next up we're going to move into a hip bridge. So I like to bring your arms down by your sides, and we want to make sure we have the feet hip width apart, so they're not too wide, they're not too narrow. Feet are in line with the hips, and we want to bring the heels close to underneath the knees. Then we're going to squeeze to the back of the body to lift the hips off the floor, and then we'll slowly lower them back to the ground. Really focus on that squeeze to the back of the body and those nice deep breaths in and out the whole time. That's good. Last one. Okay, so the core should be warmed up. We should be feeling primed, ready to go for the workout. Our first move is a hollow body hold. Our second move is a plank with a shoulder tap. Our third move are Deadbugs, and our fourth move are slow oblique climbers. Now we have a few options for the hollow body hold. You can have the shins parallel to the floor, or you can bring the feet down at any point if you need to. But either, if we can, we're going to keep the shins parallel to the floor, sliding the ribs towards the hips, lifting the chest, keeping that crunch position as we take the arms out. And like I said again, we can lower the feet to the floor if we really need to, or if we feel we can, we're going to extend the legs, taking them straight out, keeping them elevated, keeping those ribs down towards the hips, challenging the core that way. And then we just hold that for the 45 seconds. So let's start that timer. Less than 10 seconds before we get going. Let's go. So again, we slide the ribs towards the hips. Chest is lifted off the floor, creating that flexion through the back of the body. Legs either extended, shins parallel to the floor. If we really need to, we can bring those feet down to the floor at any point. But we want to keep breathing, so we want to focus on those nice deep breaths in and out the whole time. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, we can try and take the arms overhead, but if that feels too much, just bring them back down towards the side of the body. Keeping that crunch, that hollow body hold. That's good. Almost there. And rest. So we're going to come over into our plank position. Here we want the hands under the shoulders. And we can either be on the knees or the toes. But we want to, either way, we're going to draw the abs in, we're going to squeeze the glutes. We want to take the feet a little bit wider than normal, and we'll bring one hand up to tap the shoulder. Let's go. 45 seconds of these. Like I said, we can lower to the knees at any time if we need to, but we still keep that strong core brace, squeezing the glutes, drawing the abs in. Bringing the hand up towards the opposite shoulder, keeping it slow and controlled so we can try and keep the hips and shoulders level the whole time. And again, we draw the abs in, squeeze the glutes, keep breathing. Nice deep breaths in and out. We don't want to go fast because we'll start to lose control if we do. So it's about those slow controlled movements. That's going to make it harder by keeping the core under tension for longer. And we can rest. So next up we have dead bugs. So we come back down onto our backs. Then we're going to lift the legs, shins parallel to the floor. We want to draw that core in, and we want to make sure that we keep that tight core so the back doesn't lift as we lower the opposite arm and leg, but we're also not forcing the back into the ground either. So we want to keep it in that neutral position, and we're always lowering the opposite arm and leg. And the leg and arm that we aren't lowering, we're trying to keep as still as possible. So we keep that hand directly over the shoulder, knee directly over the hip, and focus on that strong brace the whole time. And those deep breaths in and out. Keep the movement slow and controlled as well, because again, that's going to keep us under tension for longer. That's really good. Almost there. And then we can rest. We're going to come back over into our plank position. So again, here we want the hands under the shoulders. And then we're going to bring the knee across towards the opposite elbow. So we just put a little bit more tension to your obliques, challenging those obliques a little bit more. So draw the abs in, squeeze the glutes, knee slowly across towards the opposite elbow, step back into our plank, and then the same on the other side. Now we're trying to keep those shoulders over the hands. We don't want to rock our weight forwards and backwards because that's going to add momentum into it, whereas we're trying to keep the movement slow and controlled, focus on drawing the abs in and drawing the knee across so we work into those obliques. Again, take those nice deep breaths in and out the whole time. Awesome work, everyone. We're almost there. And then we can rest. So that's the first round of each move done. We'll come back to our hollow body hold. So we'll come back round onto our backs. We'll lie down. Again, pick the option that you want to with the feet. Legs extended, let's go. Or legs bent, feet are down, but we slide the drift towards the hips. Keeping that flexion through the back of the body, keeping that tension through the core. So we're taking those nice deep breaths in and out. Keep going. I know this one feels like a long time, but you guys are doing really well. Keep it going. And we can rest. So we're going to come back into our plank shoulder taps. So roll over, hands back under the shoulders, either on the knees or toes. We want to draw the abs in, we want to squeeze the glutes. We want to keep those shoulders directly over the hands. And then we add in the tap, bringing one hand up to tap the shoulder, same thing on the other side, trying to keep the hips and shoulders level, trying to minimize the wobble from side to side as well. That's why we really need to brace the core, drawing those abs in, squeezing the glutes. You don't want those hips too high, we don't want the hips to drop down, just that nice straight line through the body. And we want to go slow with those taps as well, because that helps us keep it under control, help us minimize the wobble from side to side. Doing really well, everyone. Keep going. Okay, and you can rest. So we're going to come back into our dead bugs. 2 rounds to go, so we'll just come gently down onto our backs. Again, we want to keep that nice strong brace. Through the core as we lift the legs, bring the shins parallel to the floor, hands out over the shoulders, and then we lower the opposite arm and leg again. Again, we want to keep this slow and controlled. We don't want that back to lift away from the floor, but we do want to focus on those nice deep breaths in and out the whole time. Try and bring those shins back to parallel to the floor, keeping the opposite arm and leg that we aren't lowering as still as possible. That's good. We're almost there. Keep going. And rest. Last round, 45 seconds. Slow oblique climbers. So again, hands under the shoulders. We can lower to the knees at any point if we need to for this one, but if we can, we're going to start up on the toes. We draw the abs in, squeeze those glutes, knees slowly across towards the opposite arm, keeping that upper body still. And again, if we need to, we can lower to the knees, same thing, bring the knee across towards that opposite elbow. If we can, we're just going to stay on the toes. Keeping it slow, keeping it controlled. Almost there. Keep going. Keep breathing. And you can rest. So that is the end of today's workout. So I hope you enjoyed that workout. If you did, please leave me a comment below, send me a message. Like I said, if you enjoyed it as well, please like the video. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to our channel for more free workouts. But yeah, I hope you guys are all having a great week. Take care and I'll see you soon.